Guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the test server on the free-to-play account, and patch is up. That is right, guys. We have our brand new Graveborn hero, which we're going to go ahead and break down and check out right now. Lilith has never disappointed when it comes to the Graveborn heroes. They have actually always been super solid. Even when you look at the lineup, they are awesome looking, guys. And look at this. Treznor, absolutely amazing, guys. Look at the horse. Look at him. He is a ranger. That is going to be awesome to see. Remember, the Ranger or Duraclarity is one of the strongest classes in the game due to the fact they have dodge, plus they have haste. They are very strong. We're going to break down his skills, his abilities, signature item, his furniture, and then take a quick look at his engraving. So number one, the Purging Cleave, passive. Wait, that's his ultimate ability. It says passive. When his health falls to 25% or below, he will use the spear to deal 500% AoE damage to a small area in front of him, and then dismounts his horse, during which time he is immune to damage and control effects. So he has an immunity to damage and control. That's pretty strong. When Treznor is dismounted, he is only able to use his ultimate ability in normal attacks. When this ability is actively used, Treznor will spin his spear around from a mounted position, knocking back and knocking over enemies. Nearby enemies, dealing 300% damage to them. While dismounted, he will swing his broken sword repeatedly at an enemy 5 times, dealing damage with the final blow knocking them down. Okay. While Treznor is in the mounted position, damage he deals is increased to 360. While dismounted, the damage. So ultimately, he's going to be riding his horse. If he falls to 25% or below, so that's a pretty big trigger for that. He is going to go ahead and dismount his horse with the immunity. Not sure how long he's going to be dismounted for, but it says he will be dismounted when he is immune to damage and control abilities. The Death Charge. Treznor charges towards the enemy with the highest attack rating, dealing 220% damage to all targets that are in his path. So similar, again, to Estrilda, knocking them backwards and stunning them. So there's this crowd control effect. Then stops behind the target and removes all shields that are currently affecting them and deals 240% damage to them, also knocking them backwards. He is immune to control effects with this ability, and the enemy target is unable to move, so he's going to lock down that target. And then, of course, just more damage with the rest of his abilities there. The Spear of Valor. Treznor faces towards the direction where targetable enemies are standing and swipes them with the spear, dealing 260% damage to the enemies in front of him. So that could be interesting, because that's similar to what we see with Cirrus, kind of like the arcing spear. Level 4 though, so the engraving, enemies that are struck are unable to be healed for the following 8 seconds. That's pretty strong. I know we haven't seen any energy disintegration yet, but if you're nullifying the healing, there's no healing for the following 8 seconds. Plus he does have that shield break up here. So pretty cool overall so far. Soul Barricade. While in the mounted position, every time Treznor deals 50% damage, shall charge his mount with 15% energy. So he's getting more energy. After the energy reaches 100%, it shall all be consumed to generate a shield that can mitigate 55% frontal damage over 10 seconds. I don't like when it says frontal damage. It seems like they're almost building him as a tank, but he's not. It's going to be interesting to see. This ability can be triggered once every 15 seconds. Treznor is immune to control effects and while generating shield. He's got a lot of immunities in here. Shield mitigates all frontal damage. Wow. So that's pretty big. Mitigates all frontal damage. I'm not sure how big the mitigation is going to be, but let's look at the signature item, guys. The Blade of Promise. Each time a shield is generated, increases the attack rating of Treznor and the closest 2 heroes by 40% for 6 seconds. So if you're creating shields pretty quick, that's a pretty nice buff. Amount of energy the mount regenerates every second is increased by 3%, increased by 5%, and then while dismounted, remember this is triggered when he gets 25% or less health. Treznor is immune to damage and control effects for 4 seconds. And if his mount's energy is fully recharged during this time, the duration of the immunity is extended to 6 seconds. That's a pretty solid immunity. I mean, a 6-second immunity. This is really what wins, guys. We know with the burst teams that we fight, if you have immunity to crowd control, if you have immunity to damage, it makes a very big difference. Let's see his furniture ability. While mounted, damage dealt by enemies can only reduce Treznor's maximum health to 25% of his max health. That is somewhat of an immunity there. So they're not going to be able to burst him to 0. So if he's mounted, damage dealt by enemies can only reduce his health down to 25%, which means at that point he will dismount. So not too bad there. That's actually pretty good. 3 of 9 is definitely going to be required. While dismounted, Treznor gains 30 life leech points and his energy regeneration is increased by 100%. Gonna have to see exactly how effective that is. Life leech, most of you know I am not a big fan of the life leech ability at all. I feel like it really needs to be reworked. But overall, I would say right now kind of mixed reviews. I want to see exactly how well he is going to work. So let's see how he looks here on our wooden dummy first. Let's slow it down. So there's the charge. Boom. He doesn't go all the way through like a Strilda. He knocks them down. That was a pretty big hit there. So there's the charge. The ultimate ability is a pretty big swipe there. I like how he runs through them. That's actually pretty cool. And the swipe knocking them down. So he has multiple forms of crowd control. Look at the stun. Both of them were stunned there. Has a little bit of shielding. I don't know, guys. I think he's going to be a pretty solid ranger because remember, he is also going to increase the attack rating of the closest heroes. Seems pretty cool. I definitely like the design of him. I like the build of him. That is very cool looking. Let's see if we can get him to work in a team and see how it looks. We're going to put him front line. It seems like that's kind of what they have him built for. You know what? Let's go with, got a little bit of support here. We could actually just go with all Graveborns here. See how it looks. I'm wondering, is Iran going to pull him in? No, he's immune. He was immune to Iran's pull. There's the charge. Boom. There's the big knockback for Iran. I don't know, guys. He seems pretty cool. Definitely gonna have to check him out, guys. That seems pretty cool. Even here, 1.69. Because remember, he's not a tank. He's not a warrior, guys. They made him a ranger, so that's pretty interesting. I think he's gonna be viable in a couple different formations. I can see this really being viable within here. All right, guys. So that will do it for our new Graveborn hero, Treznor. Very cool looking. Unique abilities. I can see him working in a couple different formations. Definitely going to be a solid addition for the Graveborn. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of him. And as always, thank you guys for watching.